Hey, it's Matt here with Your Music is Bad and You Should Feel Bad. Today we're talking about Pitbull. As you will hear discussed later in the show, I've been trying to figure out the best way to approach some of the more seemingly obvious topics like pop music and, the sort of easy target stuff without just seeming like I'm picking on easy targets. But it's okay, they're millionaires, don't worry about it. But in this case, we found, Rich found a CNBC special, and I won't redundantly explain it as we immediately talk about it. But the point is, it was helpful to get us started on this topic, and it's definitely one of my favorite episodes so far. So if you have any suggestions, requests, anything you think would be good for us to take a crack at on the podcast, send it to hatemail@yourmusicisbad.com or shoot me a message on Twitter at the One True Matt or Facebook.com/YMIBpodcast, any of those places. And now here is the episode.
Your Juggalo recording, Craig. Juggalos don't have iPads.
All right, so we watched this. We watched this special on Pitbull.
It's a CNBC special.
That's important.
Well, right, I gotta give some backstory on this. So I'm a serial CNBC watcher due to my career. It's on all day, every day. And I saw this ad, it was last Thursday?
Yeah.
Where it was like, tonight, Pitbull, fame and fortune. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, Matt. Yeah, so I just saw this ad for this Pitbull special on CNBC tonight. You gotta watch this, dude.
So I did, and it was an hour-long special.
You DVR'd it.
Right. I DVR'd it and watched it the next day.
So I just watched it now at your place.
So we watched it, and it's called Pitbull, Fame and Fortune, and
Special's so nice. You watched it twice.
Yeah. I learned a lot about Pitbull, and I developed some respect for him. I didn't really lose any musical respect for him because I didn't really have any.
Also, there was not a lot of content about the music.
Right. Well, because that's his music is like, he mentioned at some point that when he got started, he found, I think they mentioned him finding like the dude who made his beats or whatever. And it was just like, it sounded like he started off doing a lot of trial and error, right? It's one of those things where he got the hustle.
No, that guy was he's a Miami radio
Right.
personality.
Yeah, that's right.
And right, so they were saying so first of all, he in his own words he's like, music business is 90% business and 10% talent.
Yeah,
which is hilarious and true. And then and then they're talking to this DJ, and this guy's like, yeah, he's always been good at taking constructive criticism. And he's like, he would bring me tapes or discs or whatever they were saying. And he's like, and I'd be like, no, it's hot, but you gotta work on it.
It's not the one.
Then,
it's not the one.
Right. And he's like, and then he brought me like 10 times. And he's like, yo, I think you got something here.
10 times the charm. Yeah. So there's a lot of trial and error. And then, frankly, I'm sure at some point in his career that now, like, he just gets beats sent to him and he's like, yeah, I'll do that one.
Right. And they're definitely sent to him because, as you noted, there are many, many shots of Pitbull recording in various hotel rooms.
Yeah.
There's not a single shot of him recording in a studio.
Yeah.
There's a lot of footage of him on very elaborate stages and recording in hotel rooms.
They're all in hotel rooms with
a laptop,
a nice mic, and then like an elaborate like baffle set up with sheets and stuff.
Well, no, like the one where he's quote unquote live from Tokyo, aka their live Atlanta Sheridan or whatever.
He says
He said, and while he's recording, it's into the track, and I think I've heard it because I remember hearing a song of his where he was like reporting live, and I'm like, no, this never was live. You recorded it and then released it. He's reporting live from the tallest building in Tokyo, but it really just looked like he was in Atlanta or something.
Yeah, it was clearly like some chain hotel in southern
Airport Marriott
United States. Yeah, right, totally. And but in that one he has like the crazy bell, but there's a couple where he's like just got the mic.
Yeah, totally. So
there's the one where they like the engineers there, like the guys there to push the space bar on the laptop.
Yeah, exactly. One of the first things in the special, somebody says he's not just a singer, and I thought that was interesting because he's actually not a singer at all.
No, actually, in the first like minute of the thing, there's some live footage, and you hear his mic, and it's like, the half a second where he's like tries to sing the hook,
right, where he sings along to "Don't Stop the Party."
Oh, he really can't sing.
Yeah, where he's like, "Don't stop the party," and then, but on a record, if you do that and then you copy and paste it enough times, it sounds intentional. So, okay, let's see. Oh man, it's so hard to, where to begin? Okay. So 90% music, 90% business, 10% talent, which he also at another point referred to it as 10% music as well. Basically it's like 10% of it is actual music. And if you're living in that 10% world, you're not going to get it. You're going to miss out, and you're not going to be relevant in a few years, because Pitbull, more than anything, is relevant.
Yeah. I mean, it's my entire, exposure to Pitbull prior to this special, where I learned many a thing, was that Bud Light commercial that he's in because they would air it on UFC events.
Oh yeah,
that's literally the only exposure I ever had to him.
Which is lucky, because he was on like every song for a couple of years. Like that's the big thing. What they surprisingly didn't talk about is that I think a big part of his success is that he's almost never on a song alone.
Right, he gets featured on.
He's either got a feature on it, or he's featured on someone else's. And there was one year where I swear he didn't put out an album. He was just on everybody else's single.
But I'm guessing from the tone of that thing,
right?
He was probably like, "Yeah, we're not going to talk about anybody else's stuff," and they don't. Right.
Yeah,
he was probably like, "Yo, this is about Pitbull.
This is about Pitt. This is about Pitt. This is about letting the pit out the cage."
Wait, is that what it was?
Letting the pit out the cage is what he said. It's like, that's like you letting the pit out the cage. And
what was that even in context to? Well, I just remember laughing really hard when he said it.
It's in relation to his first 09 goal. Because at one point, okay, this is interesting because they mention, he says that in 09 he came up with these goals.
Well, he like got out. He got out of his like, he was in a record contract that he didn't like.
It was an unfavorable contract,
and he got out of it. And that's when he put some goals together.
Yeah, but the best part is the goals. And
they're one per year. It's one goal per year, and they're wildly disproportionate.
Okay, so
yeah, he rattles them off like lightning.
He rattled them off so fast that the first time I watched it, I did not catch this part at all, and it's the best part of the special. So here are the goals: 09, freedom; 10, invasion; 2011, build empire; 12, grow wealth; 13, put the puzzle together; 14, buckle up; 15, make history.
Right. And so I was particularly drawn to, first there's a question of, when he's saying put the puzzle together, is that a metaphor, or is there like a specific, very challenging puzzle? Like maybe he's working on it with his daughter.
There's an actual puzzle that
he's
just so busy that he's like, all right, I'm going to put this year aside. I'm going to put that puzzle together.
And I was
finally.
like, I'm really betting it's a metaphor. But then when I heard the next goal was buckle up, he'd also set aside a year for buckling up. I was like,
up.
You know what? I'm going to have to reassess my opinion of the putting the puzzle together and say it's probably literal. It's probably like a 1,000-piece puzzle.
Yeah.
It's like a picture of a cheeseburger.
Yeah. So... And I remember,
what are they invading?
Well, it's interesting also because like
he took umbrage with invasion.
Right. He takes a lot of meetings because he's Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Worldwide, exclusively to the Western Hemisphere. There was
Yeah.
zero footage of like Europe or
Right.
Russia or Asia.
Right. No, he went from apparently
Miami
he
to
used
Vegas.
to be Mr. 305,
305.
which I guess is a
the
Miami
area code in Miami.
code.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then once he got bigger, he was like, I'm worldwide, so I'm Mr. Worldwide now. And
Is that like Worldwide Pants? Remember they would David Letterman?
yeah, Worldwide fans.
Did they make pants or was that just a production company?
No, that
name?
was just the name of the company because
I'm really disappointed because I kind of want some Worldwide Pants.
well, you know, maybe Pitbull and Letterman got to get together.
Oh yeah. I
Worldwide,
heard
actual
Letterman's
worldwide pants,
Probably looking for a gig.
or some easy money, you know. So okay, so let's talk about so he took a meeting, and he talks a lot about people trying to, you know, exploit his culture, and he said, you know,
no, he was talking about people. They want to tap into that market.
they said, how do we infiltrate your culture?
They're talking about like brands like Bud
Right.
Light and whatever that want to do
Yeah.
business with them, and they asked, how do we infiltrate your
Because he's saying all his endorsements, you know, started off as like Latin market campaigns, and then eventually grew to be general market campaigns.
because they were so successful. They're like, and,
Right.
and Pitbull is so universal and like has appeal
He was like,
across.
I told you, just just Mr.
Worldwide.
Worldwide, just general, like no, no. He says no shit in Spanish, I think, but he's like, yeah, no shit. But you know, you say that now, Pitt, but. So yeah, the meetings, they actually said, how do we infiltrate your culture? And he's like, whoa, that's a strong word. It's not going to work like that. You want to like profit from my people. Here's how you do it. This is the better way. Actually, it's like, that's the wrong
You
approach.
don't need to infiltrate. We'll eviscerate from the inside.
Yeah, I'll open the back door for you.
sell them out.
Right. So he's talking about like, he does like want them to infiltrate, but yet, you know, 2010 is about invasion. So,
And despite the fact that he's Mr. Worldwide, he makes it very clear that his people, despite being Cuban, is any Latinos or
right.
what he goes through a list of terms. He was like
Latino,
Latinos,
Hispanic, whatever they want to call us these days.
Yeah.
Whatever the white man wants to call us. But basically, I mean, it
I have
basically amounted to
I
like,
have a funny related story actually to when I got my Florida driver's license.
oh yeah.
Okay, so on the thing, like you fill out this form about like what your race is, and but it's like one of those things where it's like choose one, like in all
Right.
caps, and so I forget what it is. Oh yeah, no, because I'm sorry, there's white, and then they have Latino non-white are like options. And so like I go and I say to the woman, like when I get to the thing, I didn't check one because I'm like, okay, so I'm white, but I'm also Latino, but I'm not Latino non-white.
Congratulations, you're white.
So the thing is, what they do is when you give them the thing, like they feed it into the system, and then it prints out the sheet that you're supposed to say like this is correct, and then sign it.
Right.
And so like after I have this like short discussion with her, she sends me the sheet, and it says like Latino, and I'm like, well, no, if I only get one, I'm more white than I am Latino. So let's go with that one. But but it was like one of these things where I'm like very confused. And I had an employment application recently that there was like, what was it? It was phrased in some super weird way where like, even though there was like, it was like two or more. Oh yeah, it was like there was like white, and then there was Latino, and then there was like two or more other, and then I'm like, no, I'm two or more, but not of other, like of the ones that are on your list. Anyway, it's just a weird. I think this stuff's weird, but yeah. So he's like, despite being Mr. Worldwide, he's like, my people, the Latinos, but the general campaign. But let me tell you how to tap into this. It's like the whole thing was super contradictory. I didn't really follow.
He was trying to be like, hey, all these white guys trying to get into our culture and exploit it for financial reasons. Hold up a minute. If anybody's going to exploit Pitbull's culture, it's going to be Pitbull.
And my culture is whatever I define it to be at this moment.
Yeah. And I forget the context, but then after that I had written down, like I always say, I love to learn. Because that's what he says in all of his
He says
all of his songs.
Right,
They're all about learning.
Right. He goes like he keeps quoting song lyrics and like everything that he's talking about. But then he keeps bringing up this Pitbull loves to learn, I love to learn thing, which is admittedly I'm not the authority on Pitbull's music.
Yeah.
but I don't recall hearing that phrase
Right.
in any of his songs.
Can't stop, won't stop. I love to learn. So, okay, so,
It's for the children. Right. Oh, yeah. So then he had the thing about the schools.
oh yeah, well, because okay, so basically, the most interesting thing about this special is as it goes on, I started to realize that.
They talk about first of all, they talk about diversifying revenue streams.
Right. So I knew Pitbull was the kind of guy who has a lot of money coming in from non-musical sources like Bud Light. He has his own vodka thing. But what I didn't know is that his friend and mentor, Tony Robbins, was going to be in this thing. And once I realized that, it all started to make sense, is that Pitbull is like Tony Robbins basically taught him how to hypnotize people into giving him money, because that's what Tony Robbins does.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense too. That's why he constantly repeats the same phrases. He says "Dale" like every 30 seconds in like every song.
They both wear a lot of black.
And that one other woman was talking about it and trying to say how he's inspirational, and all she did was quote lyrics. She was like, yeah, his motto is like, you know,
Have
if
a
you
good
want
time.
if you want if you want it, you can get it. Dale. And I'm like, those are song lyrics, but I'm pretty sure he was just talking about fucking. Like, I'm pretty sure that was like, yo, mommy, if you want it, you can get it. Specifically my dick, like in the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. You know? Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Yeah.
In the tallest building.
In the tallest building in Tokyo. Live.
Live.
From the tallest
you
building
can get
in
it live in the tallest building.
So the best part is they talked about how like politicians are kind of courting him now, and he said that Jeb Bush
and Marco
Rubio have approached
both
him,
Florida politicians,
right? And so they're looking for that young.
Well, first Michelle Caruso Cabrera. Okay, I gotta talk about this as well,
right?
So they do this thing on the CNBC specials where it's like, okay, which cute anchor girl has to do this one, and like. But sometimes I don't know that they have a reason. Like Trish Reagan did the marijuana one.
Yeah.
But then like I thought it was kind of weird that Melissa Lee, the Asian woman, did the porn one. But so Michelle Caruso Cabrera, like the Latin one, goes and does the Pitbull special.
Yeah. She's like, we just did Thing in Cuba too. Of course you did.
Yeah, and so she's like, I bet all these politicians are hitting you up for endorsements, right?
Yeah. And he's basically like, he's like, not for endorsements. They just like to hang out and talk.
Yeah. Dude, because Jeb's down.
Yeah. No,
Jeb is the most down dude I know.
They don't want endorsements. They just like to hang out and talk. And so do I. I love to learn. And so he basically was like, I want to hear what they got going on. Do you really, Pitbull? Like, you're curious what... I mean... if it involves something you can monetize, possibly. But
yeah, he's probably like, how can I get a tax break on my next
then on top of that, in 2012, he spoke at an Obama thing, and they as he's saying this, they show footage of him at a podium that says Obama, and then he's like, yeah, but you notice I never actually said in the speech, vote for Obama.
He's like,
I said, thank you, Obama, for letting me tell my story. It's like... So you think that's a loophole? Like, you think that doesn't count?
No, and my point was, it's like in Oklahoma, right, where they're like, by having the 10 Commandments on state grounds, we're not actually endorsing Christianity. It's just there because people might want it. But if those dirty Satanists try to put up that Muhammad statue, tear that shit down, it's like, pretty sure that counts as an endorsement. Pretty sure speaking at the Obama thing, pretty sure rallying people at the rally is a form of endorsement.
Yeah. So it's hard to tell whether that's just him being like savvy or naive. I'm not sure, because he's kind of like, no, man, they just want to hang out and talk. But he at least knows to not like go to their functions. He knows not to speak at their events.
He was like, Jeb, man, he's on Netflix and chill, man.
Oh yeah, he did like they basically were like, yo, what about Trump? And he apparently,
well, no, because at an awards show,
right,
at like a Latin music awards show,
yeah, he went off.
Right,
he went off.
He's like call Rubio, call Jeb, call Hillary.
Yeah,
he's like, because no matter what, he's like, as long as Trump can't be president, right. That's what he said.
It's like, those other guys are fine though,
and
I don't endorse them. but vote for them instead of Trump.
Right. And so they ask him, they're like, wait, so what was that all about? And they're bringing up like when he would Trump's now infamous bit about, he's like, they're coming to this country. Mexicans, they're sending their worst. They're not sending their best. They're sending, he's like, they're rapists. And he's like, I imagine some of them might be decent people.
I don't know because I don't talk to Mexicans, but and I don't speak Mexican, but yeah. So the interesting thing is like as the thing goes on, like there's a Tony Robbins appearance early on, and I was like, Tony Robbins, what the fuck? But then like they explain that he's like a friend and mentor.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk about what he says about Trump's comments.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We gotta rewind on that.
Wait, I don't know if I wrote that down though.
I can tell you what it was.
Oh, okay.
He goes. Yeah, I don't think Trump understood what he was saying.
Sorry, I do have that.
Okay.
I wrote it down and then I forgot what the context was. It said that when he said what he said, he didn't understand what he was saying or who he was speaking to. That was his explanation about Trump. What he meant was that like he don't understand how industrious the Latino people are, but it sounded like what he was saying was that's okay. He didn't know what he was saying.
Right, no, it was super weird because it was like he was backpedaling on his like no Trump thing, and I'm like, you need honestly, to double down on that, dude.
Right. I think that's the thing though. Is his motto is business, and he doesn't want to alienate anyone.
Right, because he's probably like, business. Oh man, that guy might win.
Right. What if he wins?
What if he wins?
He's gonna be Mr. Worldwide everywhere but this country. That's what's gonna happen if Trump wins. Mr. Worldwide is gonna be enjoying the rest of the world. He's gonna go back to Mexico. Like what?
You'd be like, I think he's from Cuba.
Cuban and
Cuban, not from Cuba.
Yeah. But so my favorite thing was when they start getting into the Tony Robbins, because like they showed him like speaking at like a school and some other events.
Right, he has some like this. I didn't really understand. They said he had this thing, like he's speaking at school and he's like, this is not the first school of its kind in Miami or like in the country. He's like, it's the first school of its kind in the world. And I'm like, school of what kind?
Yeah, it was some kind of charter school
that called like Slam or something.
Yeah, they said something about like sports leadership and management, which
that's Slam.
Yeah. Oh, sports leadership and management. I didn't even. I was like, why is it called Slam?
No, that's what I didn't. I totally missed the whole sports leadership. I thought you were putting it together,
and then I didn't put it together when I saw the Slam thing. I'm like, is that a different thing? But no, he broke ground on Slam.
Because that's what we need to be teaching our kids.
Right. Exactly.
Sports leadership and I remember, and management.
As they said that, I saw like that the gym was full of kids in like warm ups and stuff.
Wait, but like, if you're a manager on a football team, doesn't that mean you get water?
Well, I have a feeling it's like
you carry pads.
I think they mean like business management, like of sports teams or something.
Because that's what America needs. That's what'll drive the real economy,
right?
Because if we have more 1%er,
well, and just in general, we need more sports leadership because that's what sports is
severely lacking, dude. Yeah. It's severely lacking. I'm afraid for my country, not because I want to make it great again, because it's pretty great right now. But I'm just worried if we don't step up our sports leadership game, we're in danger of losing whatever Cold War is next.
Yeah,
because if it hadn't been for the Miracle on Ice, who knows where America would be today?
All right. So, my favorite little bit when they start showing him speaking in all these things, right? And then there's suddenly a lot more Tony Robbins comments, and I'm suddenly like, oh, I'm starting to get where this is going. And then this woman's interviewing him, and he's like, I love when people tell me, like, so people start mentioning more about his motto and his sort of mindset, and it's all just like song lyrics or references to his songs.
You're talking about the creepy spaz woman, or
no? So towards the end, he's like, well, the woman again just quoted. If you want it, you can get it. And it's like, yeah, that's just, he's talking about ass. Like, but then towards the end, they're like, what do you like to, he's basically saying like, I want people to tell me I can't do stuff because I just prove them wrong. But what he says is he likes to hear can't, won't, never will. I'm like, those are just the lyrics from Can't Stop the Party. It's can't stop, won't stop, never will. can't stop the party. And I'm like, you can just
Party here, Matt, is a metaphor.
the party is a metaphor for business.
Wait. Maybe he's going to have his own political party.
Oh man.
Pitbull party. They're going to have like a tea party, but the Pitbull.
And it's a party that you can't stop. That's their whole platform, is you can't stop us. Well, where do you stand on the issues? You can't stop us on the issues. We're going to put that puzzle together, and then we're going to run for president. Maybe he's going to run against Kanye.
No, they're going to put the puzzle together. They're going to buckle up.
Then make history.
Make history.
Maybe that's how he's going to make history. He's going to run against Kanye next year.
No, but that was this year. It's 15.
Right.
He's making history this year.
Right. But he's not running for president, though, and Kanye is. Although Kanye maybe say he's 2020.
Yeah, that's what he's gearing up.
He's probably going to run in 2020.
He's making a new list of yearly goals right now.
Yeah. Like I always say, I love to learn. I think that's pretty much the notes I have on it, but
it was amazing.
Oh, it was so good. It was, if you get CNBC,
you should watch this.
You can catch Pitbull, Fame and Fortune.
Well, here's the thing about CNBC. They rerun all of their specials until eternity. Oh, like, it doesn't matter. Like, so like the marijuana one is from like 2010 or something. And so half of the thing is outdated because they're talking about like the law enforcement climate, which is totally different. But it doesn't matter; they'll still run it. Yeah, like they run these things forever. CNBC runs their specials so long that you will watch ones that are in standard def, like they have the CNBC banner on the either side because like to fit onto widescreen. Like they run stuff. Oh man, forever. Yeah. So you will have a chance. To see Pitbull, Fame and Fortune. Yeah,
I mean, the funny thing about Pitbull, I remember a few years ago at Thanksgiving explaining to my family who he was, because he was doing the halftime for whatever like Thanksgiving Day football game, and he came out, and it was actually
a Dolphins game.
I don't know, it might have been. He's Mr. Worldwide though. It doesn't matter.
Well, because the Lions and the Cowboys always play, right?
Oh yeah,
but I'm like, I think
that's the game. It was actually. I think it was the Lions and the Cowboys. But I just remember him coming out, and it was like all the songs had someone else on it who wasn't there, like Neo or somebody or Kesha, and he was playing all these songs. And they're like,
Kesha,
yeah, and they're like, where's the person that sings this song, and who's the bald guy in a suit who's just like coming out and kind of rapping? I mean,
who kind of like is vibrating, irregularly,
and he's like surrounded by gyrating women, and yeah, I mean, that was the thing I really got from it is, to be fair, like, okay, so let's just say for a second that I don't have a problem with the music business being 90% business.
Right. But no, the music business is a business whose product happens to be music.
Right. Yeah. So from that perspective, I gained a lot of respect from it because he definitely knows what he's doing.
He was acutely aware of the game.
Right. Exactly. And it's like, so one of the best examples is if you've ever seen a live performance of his. And if you've ever seen like an awards show or a football game, you might have seen a live performance by Pitbull. It's like he got the thing like, what we need that like all these successful pop stars and stuff has, you got some sexy dancers, right? He's just a guy. He doesn't really dance.
Right. He has a weird like and sometimes he jumps.
Yeah. Well, he's short. So, he's just like got that short, jumpy, so that the people in the back can see him. So right,
pretty
he just
sure
kind of like
video screens.
Yeah, he does that kind of like,
You're doing a surprisingly good impersonation of it. I know no one can see it, right? But I can't. Right. I can't do it. I can't gyrate like that.
I don't know. Yeah. So, and then like honestly, other than like he doesn't even pretend to sing those. Like, he hasn't even really done the whole like auto-tune thing that much. Like even his fake singing is like as bad as you expect it to be. Like it's like I said, it's that "Don't Stop the Party," but that's not like really like he's trying to sing or anything.
Right. It's like Beastie Boys, right?
Yeah. Like
who also
their song
"Party"
called yeah. In fact, that's pretty much the same thing, isn't it? Oh man. It's one of those little like, hey, somebody wrote that song for that bit before that. That thing that's like the linchpin of your song.
So no. So there's this part where they're like, he's so he's so creative, and like he's always coming up with the topics for these songs,
ideas for songs,
and you're like the Celebrate song, because like no one ever like made a Celebrate song before, except maybe that song that was like Celebrate. Yeah, maybe that song that there already was. So what you're really saying is he's really good at coming up with topics that were good songs before,
right,
to make again. Yeah. Partying, Celebrate.
Right. And luckily they never really say that like he's that good at writing them or anything. It's good at ideas for songs.
Yeah,
like,
right.
So like, like Hotel Lobby, he was probably staying like in a hotel or a motel or a Holiday Inn. And then he thought, I could write a song about this.
You know what, Matt? I bet you he stayed at a Holiday Inn Express and,
he probably also laid down some tracks at those, because apparently he does all his recording in hotels.
He was coming to you from the tallest building in rural Pennsylvania.
Live from the tallest building in rural Pennsylvania, which just so happens to be the Holiday Inn Express.
Holiday Inn. It is 3 floors tall. It is much taller than the Waffle House.
Oh man, yeah. So I basically explained to him that he's this dude who just like talks on everybody else's songs, and he's super famous. And they were like, "Yeah, why is he there? Like, what does he contribute to this?" Oh, but my point was, he's got like all the sexy dancers, but he like took it a step further. He was like I've seen some of his performance where there's like 20, like the stage is covered in sexy dancers. It's almost like, most people, especially like a lot of female pop stars, kind of have this thing where sometimes they're just like, all right, well, the dancers can't be too hot, or like,
right,
it'll be obvious how not that hot I am. And I think even some male dancers are like, yeah, they'd be hot or whatever, but like they're all like groping on him. I mean, they do a little bit of that, but like,
no, there was no point where they're like groping him.
Right.
They might like touch him.
Right. They touch him and stand by him, but right. They don't spend the whole, like, Usher is all about the girls being like, just so all y'all know, all these dancers want to fuck me. And I just want all y'all to know. And their dance moves are going to demonstrate that throughout the evening, in case anyone was doubting the fact that every woman wants to fuck Usher. But Pitbull's kind of like, look, I don't care if nobody looks at me the entire show.
He's like, as long as they pay.
Right, as long as they pay.
they're going to get the show they want.
They're going to get a good... I mean, if you just want a good show and you're not really concerned about the main person or like who they are...
Or the music.
Or what they do. Right. As long as you're fine with like whatever generic music. Right. It's Pitbull because... He's got just the stage is just covered. Oh, he's also doing like a Vegas show now. That's another interesting thing.
Oh yeah,
which is perfect for.
Right, they were talking about that, and was it the Wax Museum or was it like a star on something?
Well, he had the Wax Museum.
But it was the Vegas show where they're like you're an exclusive company with. Oh no! It was the Sirius XM station.
Oh,
they're
right.
like you're an exclusive company because the only other it's Elvis, the Grateful Dead. I don't remember the other artists, but they're like, and then you are the only people who have Sirius XM radio channels like dedicated to you. And so it's just like, you mean there's like a channel that, see, I think it's obnoxious when there's the channel that plays party music 24 hours a day. Cause I'm like, there's that time, like 10 a.m. is that time where you're like, if you were up all night partying, you're like done. And if you weren't, 10 a.m. is not the time to listen to party music.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not your commute where you're trying to get psyched up either. But they still play party music at 10 a.m. because that's what the station does. I think that's absurd.
Yeah.
But then to be like, no, this one specific dude's party music.
Yeah. But at the same time, the thing about that I was like, yeah, but so what? Is that nobody probably works on that channel. It's just probably a playlist.
Yeah.
It's if I had a Spotify Pitbull playlist,
right,
it would be the same thing as that
right.
channel.
Well,
hit shuffle
and I guess the other thing is, like you were saying, since all of his tracks are like cameos or people cameoing on his, there probably is a decent amount of
it's probably like Pandora, where that just means like it's Pitbull themed, but you probably hear some other stuff. Like you said, like people he has worked with, people who are Pitbull adjacent. It's like the Pandora formula.
Highly involved. Yeah, but that was pretty obnoxious. And that, just the whole thing was amazing.
Yeah. So let's see. So he's got the XM station. He's got the Wax Museum statue.
Oh, so the Vegas show.
Right, the
Right,
Vegas
so-
show, because that was the other thing where they were like, usually you got to be pretty established, be around for a while, so you have 2 hours worth of material that everyone wants to hear.
Like Britney.
But if you're right, Britney and her 2 hours of material,
or Rod Stewart. Admittedly, he's been around forever, but I can't think of 2 hours of Rod Stewart that anyone wants to hear.
But the lucky thing about Pitbull is that you can't really tell.
Right,
Like, you're pretty much like, is this "Don't Stop the Party"?
Right,
No.
and
Is
then
this
the
"Don't Stop
special,
Party"?
I'm pretty sure that's the only track of his that they used.
We at the end I couldn't decide if they only used that song or if it was
They
just
all
that I couldn't
sound the
tell.
same.
Because
But
they all
no,
sound.
I'm willing to bet they only use the one, so they
Yeah.
only have to pay the
It's CNBC.
licensing.
They're frugal,
Business first,
right? 90% business.
which includes the sync rights to my own special.
Yeah, he was probably like, "Hey, business,
He's
I
like,
know you
whatever I
guys-
got to do to get this aired.
I know you guys like to talk and hang out, which is my term for having a business meeting."
Tony Robbins told me, get it aired.
Because like Tony Robbins said, the thing that matters the most is passion. Because that's what that's what it is.
He wears a suit everywhere.
I totally forgot. Did I forget that part? I did.
I think so.
So at one point early on in this special,
So, so for people who are unfamiliar with CNBC specials, especially the ones that are about people, they talk to like basically whoever will talk to them, and they feel like they should put this person on camera. And so some people, like the DJ, are people who actually know him. Okay. But then there's other random people that are just supposedly experts in whatever. And they're not people you've ever heard of. They're like, at best, they're like an editor at People magazine or something. Like they're in the industry somehow, but you're like, no, they're not testifying as an expert witness for anything. And so they have this one woman who I have no idea who she is, and she's kind of a spaz.
she's super grating. Like, they're talking about how, it's all business, blah, blah, blah. And then this white lady shows up and she's just like, he wears a suit everywhere.
like that's like not something every banker in Midtown does.
And like it's like it's unique too or something. Like,
yeah, I mean, isn't that even Acre Coke's thing? And they're terrible. Like you can have a suit gimmick.
I mean, Justin Timberlake wore a suit for a few years.
Didn't IRS wear a suit? If we're going to tie this into pro wrestling, because that seems to be my calling in life or on this show.
Yeah, no, it was.
I think he actually just wore
crazy.
suspenders and a tie, because that was way funnier.
Yeah.
Oh, but they have corporate Kane wrestle in slacks. He usually takes the suit jacket off though to wrestle.
Yeah. Then what was the
Whoever
thing you were
thought
saying
that
where
anyway.
you were like, yeah, it just basically makes him look like a Coke dealer? I'm like,
Oh yeah. No, because she was like, he wears a suit everywhere, and like half of them are white.
Yeah.
And you're like, who wears a white suit
in Miami?
in Miami and is bald?
Plus on top of that, like there was a part where he like noticeably dodges saying that his father dealt coke because they're
and
like, so your thought is like he got into some extracurricular activities. You know what I mean?
And Michelle Caruso-Cabrera goes, what do you mean by that? And he dodges the question,
Yeah.
and then she goes, so drugs.
Yeah.
And he's like, something like that.
And he was like, in the 80s in Miami.
Yeah, he's like, put
Coke.
those together.
We know you're talking about Coke.
And then so then she doesn't even ask him about like his dealing past, but then like later in the narration,
Right.
you're just like risen up from his drug dealing past, and you're like, okay, way to like ambush him on that
Right.
one. Like,
and then the very end of the thing is when they use the Scarface clip.
oh yeah. So and right, and before anyone thinks this is like woefully distasteful, no, like he brings it up. He's like, yo, that scene in Scarface where they're in the convertible, and he's like, you know what you're about to get? He's like, the whole world or whatever. I don't remember.
And it's
I've
basically
not
like-
watched Scarface
right,
as many times as Pitbull.
It's that same thing where they're like, he's so different from all the other Miami rappers. By the way, here's his favorite Scarface quote.
Yeah, it's sort of amazing.
Oh yeah, at some point I wrote down, honestly, he's not as dumb as his music.
No, he seems like a pretty smart guy.
I gained respect for him, but not for his music. Oh yeah, he also went on a whole thing about like the music industry and streaming and how it's basically the whole thing that his whole thing is like the the labels should have like got on board with like Napster and Apple and everything. But then he's like, yeah, but it's pretty good that like, they own a piece of Spotify and so, it's not great for the artist yet, but it's good for everybody else. So it'd be nice because he's just basically like pro music business, basically.
Oh yeah. The whole thing like was weird though, because it was kind of like, you're like, are you saying artists are exploited or you want to exploit artists? It wasn't really clear like what his angle was.
And like, I think he mentioned like Tidal and Jay-Z and basically his thing was that like,
no, I mentioned Tidal.
Oh, I thought he did too.
I don't know. I just remember because there was an article that I read like last week where there's some trial that Jay-Z's testifying in, and they asked him what he does, and he's like, I'm a rapper and I own this business and this business and this business. And his lawyer's like, don't you also own a streaming music service? And he's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And it's like, and the article is like, yeah, you and everyone else.
Right. Well, yeah. And that's the funny thing. It's like, treating Jay-Z like, oh good, well at least an artist owns this one. It's like, yeah, but he's another 90% business guy.
Right. And he's also has a ton of money. It's not like, man, good to see an artist finally getting paid.
Yeah.
That guy who has a ton of money.
Yeah.
And owns a pro basketball team or whatever.
Yeah. Which reminds me, there's another interesting statistic recently that I can look up. Things that, where was this?
Don't stop the party, Matt.
Can't stop, won't stop, never will. Those all mean the same thing too, by the way. Very redundant. Oh, here we go.
Repeat stuff.
Yeah, Taylor Swift made $80 million this year, and that was interesting in contrast with her. Good thing she pulled all her stuff off Spotify and everything, because who knows how that would have hurt her $24 million or $80 million earnings. I'm sure her shows help a lot, and also Pepsi and
she probably sells a ton of merch.
Yeah. It's that same kind of thing where it was just that like, because he did mention her. He was like, good for her, for standing up to them or whatever. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not the right.
Yeah, you're not really taking a stand.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. People, if you're in a position to take a stand, it doesn't count nearly as much as like, I needed to feed my family, but I was sticking up for what I believe in.
Right.
As opposed to like, you know what, I'll just cash gigantic checks elsewhere. Yeah. It's like,
and then
thanks.
A lot of less savvy, not yet successful musicians are like, yeah, that's right. Don't put your shit on Spotify. They'll rip you off. And it's like, no, put your shit everywhere
and hope people listen to it.
Until you're making $80 million a year, then do whatever the fuck you want.
Right. And the whole thing is, it's like, and if you really cared about the music, you would just want people to listen to it. You wouldn't care if you got paid or not.
Right.
Like, but I mean, if you're trying to make a career out of it. Speaking of which, I think you posted this article the other day about like how it was like how geniuses structured their days, right?
Oh, yeah,
and it was like, and it was like, it's really interesting because they all, did it differently. So it's, you don't have to buy into this idea that like super successful people like all have the same habits, whatever, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The noticeable trend in them to me though was all of them. A lot of them it was zero, and the ones who it was non-zero, the amount of time they dedicated to like supporting themselves was very small. Yeah. I'm like, that's pretty telling.
Yeah.
When you don't have to spend all your time paying your bills, you have time to do crazy stuff.
Yeah. Well, plus like the composers on there, it would be like, wake up, breakfast, compose until like dinner, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift doesn't get up every morning. And I mean, to be fair, I got I'm going to do a thing because there's a couple recent articles, and I think I figured out the best way for me to talk about the pop stuff is to get something somebody else wrote about them and respond to it.
Yeah.
Because if you're just like, so explain to me why Taylor Swift is bad, I'll be like, first of all, you don't get it at all. Like
have
from
you heard?
scratch,
Have you heard her music?
Right. It's like, so are you really? I got like starting from zero. Like, how do I even begin to? All right, so 4/4 is common time, and I'm like, so I used to give you like a theory lesson, explain to you. Anyway, so there was an interesting thing I read about Katy Perry and an interesting thing about Taylor Swift, and I'm going to use those as like jumping off points for something.
Yeah. That's probably good.
And the Taylor Swift one, part of the interest, or no, it might have been the Katy Perry one actually. Part of it was they were talking about, they had at least a realistic idea of how the music industry works in terms of somebody makes a beat, okay, because most music now is really all in the same genre, which I like to call beats, which I spell B-E-T-Z. Or B-E-E-T-Z.
I like to spell it B-E-E-T.
Yeah, B-E-E-T-Z. I'm going to edit that out.
I spell it S-M-R-T.
Yes. So you get a beat, and then apparently you get a different person who's called a songwriter to write like lyrics and maybe a melody. And then like Taylor Swift or somebody is like, but I want it to be about me. And they're like, okay, what is like the thing that like you care about right now or whatever? And she's like, this guy broke up with me. Okay, so it's a song about breaking up. And then like, and I'm sure that Taylor Swift contributes to her own lyrics because they're terrible.
Yeah, they're really bad.
And that's how
did you see, there's an episode of The Soup where some channel, it might actually have been E, had aired like a Taylor Swift special where it was like this concert. Oh yeah, it was like Storytellers or whatever the thing is. And so, you know, the whole point is the banter, right? So she plays a song and then she's like, this song is about blah. And they just cut together the parts where she's like, this song's about a boy. This song's about a breakup. This song's about an ex of mine. Like it was there was like 12 in a row where she's like, and you're like,
yeah. And the Katy Perry, and this was the thing about the structure and everything was from the Katy Perry article. And part of the problem with that article, which I need to use it for, is it's very right about a lot of things that are wrong with Katy Perry, but it's wrong in the sense that it's acting like she's so much worse than like Taylor Swift, Beyonce,
right?
Everybody else.
It's like these problems are not isolated to Katy Perry.
And then the best part is that part of the thing was like, well, Katy Perry's basically like just neutral, right? She's so generic, it can appeal to everyone. She never really takes a stand on anything. Her stands are like, you know,
Don't stop the party.
Right. Like you're a firework, which also there's a mention in there about like anyone who can like straight like seriously record a song where they repeatedly sing "You're a firework." It's like, all right, yeah.
I think she took a stand with Left Shark.
Yeah, I think Left Shark took a stand.
Left Shark. I think Left Shark took a few things and then went on stage.
But part of it, yeah. So part of it was
where are they now? Can we get the Left Shark tattoo guy on the show?
Yeah.
Where are they now?
Part of it was
9 months later.
The woman who wrote this article was talking about it, like basically her impression of like Taylor Swift and Beyonce was basically their whole like public persona, like their marketing basically. Like, you know, Taylor Swift is just like it's just like innocent girl and her like dealings with love, and you know, and we all relate to that. And so it was like, you know, all this kind of shit, and it was like, so that's okay, right? That's acceptable, but not Katy Perry. It's like, wait, what's like,
yeah,
because what we needed was more like teenage angst love songs,
blandness that we already had plenty of.
Yeah. And also like I got to do a whole Taylor Swift thing, because part of it is also just like the part of her music that she still does has not changed since she actually wrote her own songs.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like the same lyrics and melodies over whatever track they sent her. Right. Well, and again, it was trying to be like Katy Perry versus Taylor Swift, and it's like, and both of whom have recent hit songs written by Max Martin. They're all the same,
right?
The same guys. It's like, well, you know, Katy Perry is, but Taylor Swift at least is like. So she tried to make that dumb shit meaningful, but failed. So what's your point?
Yeah. People are dumb.
Yeah, pretty much.
Music is bad.
Right. Their music is very bad. And they should probably all feel bad. I don't actually feel like Pitbull should feel bad because one, he won't. And
he won't.
He won't. He never will.
He never will.
Stop the party.
I mean, it's hard to feel that bad when you have that much cash too.
Yeah.
Unless you're one of these weird people that they talk about in the New York Times. What was it? I guess we didn't talk about this article. There was this one about this guy like in the Upper West Side that he's like a wealth therapist. It's for all these people, right? So all these people who like their life is so hard because they have all this money, so like they're isolated, and like they just don't know what to do.
Where are these people?
I know. I'm like,
do they need like people to hang out with us to like,
or like to take their money from them to get rid of their problems?
I could give you a few things you could do with that. Let me just take it, and then I'll
you find meaning in your life, right? No, yeah, it was like, yeah, it's so weird. He's like just basically walks around Central Park while these rich people tell him their problems that are caused by being so rich. And I was like, wow, this dude's got a great scam.
Yeah.
But it's probably just like, he probably makes as much as a doctor. He probably's not making like,
He probably makes more than the average life coach, at least.
Do you think he's making more than Tony Robbins?
No, well, Tony Robbins is not the average life coach. Tony Robbins like invented the life coach.
He's the original.
When I read the first 3 chapters of Awaken the Giant Within,
that's a very specific number.
I was really disappointed to find out. I thought he was going to explain how he became a giant, like
how his jaw got so large.
Right, he was like, awaken the giant within. I'm like, so wait, you're saying that he didn't used to be a giant and then he awoke the giant and became like, but it's not in there.
I'm pretty sure if you get a tumor on your pituitary gland,
right,
like you can actually,
right, you need a growth disorder.
Yeah. Like Bigfoot Silva.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's amazing what people's deals are.
Yeah, but I mean, it explains why Pitbull is so good at like, basically, I don't want to say branding. It's really not so much branding as it is hypnotizing people into giving you money. Just like repeating the same things, like in every song. Like he says, Dale a lot. There's this YouTube parody group.
Staying on message.
This is Pitbull related. There's a YouTube parody group, and they do popular parodies. They're not like, Yankovic quality parodies, but then
sure.
I mean they're on YouTube. So, but they're good for YouTube, and they do a decent job. And some of them are actually pretty funny, and they make videos for all of them. But they done a bunch of Pitbull ones, and they actually had this guy who did like a really good like Pitbull impression and looks enough like him when he dresses up. So it was some of their best ones.
You need to be bold, have a suit, and a really thin mustache.
Pretty much it. And I think the mustache is fake. But he works really well for though. But he kind of does the voice too. Actually, he does a good Pitbull impression. But they do a lot of jokes about how he says Dali all the time. So in this one video, they keep having different visual jokes for Dali. Like one is a picture of Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
It's like Dali. And then one is a picture of his because he has his vodka and it's like Voli, Voli, Voli or something. Okay. And so they have one that just says Dali, Dali, Dali on it. And there's one where they has like an actual like a doll and he's like Dali. It's all these like puns.
Do they have the one of the cloned sheep?
No.
Oh, no. Do they have one of Dolly Parton?
They might have. Yeah, I think they did at one point. That's the point. Like every one of these, it's one of their best running jokes is their Pitbull stuff. It's called Key of Awesome, by the way.
Okay,
you can check it out. I think they do some. They also have a channel called Barely Political, and they do some like pseudo political stuff. Like I think like that Obama girl works for them, or did at one point, or they were somehow cross promoting with her or something. Anyway, that's probably all we got on Pitbull.
Yeah, it was amazing.
We sure let the pit out the cage.
Worldwide. This show's worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
To all 40 of our listeners.
Hey, it's Matt again. There's a thing at the end now where I say thank you for listening. And please subscribe on iTunes or at yourmusicisbad.com. Follow me on Twitter at TheOneTrueMatt. Send us your suggestions, critiques, hate mail, and other insane ramblings at hatemail@yourmusicisbad.com. Thank you and good night or whatever time it is where you are.